Hello, my fellow detectives. Brenna here from the Mystery of Everything podcast. You guys know that I absolutely love the holidays. There is nothing better than being together with my family and sitting around stuffing my face, getting all fat and sassy. But now that I'm eating for two, I've had to think a little bit more about the food that I'm actually putting into my body. And that is where HelloFresh comes in. Every HelloFresh recipe includes high quality, sustainably sourced ingredients, like produce that comes fresh from the farm. That's one of the reasons why I love HelloFresh. I don't have to think about scanning through lists of ingredients. I can just eat and relax with my family. Not to mention, I save valuable time during the busy holiday season with fewer trips to the grocery store thanks to HelloFresh Market. There's over 100 add on items you can add to your weekly box, like quick breakfasts, packable snacks, beverages, and more. It's no mystery as to why they're America's #1 meal kit. Get 10 free meals at hellofresh.com/freemo. Applied across 7 boxes, new subscribers only, varies by plan. That's 10 free HelloFresh meals just by going to hellofresh.com/freemoe. Hello, everybody. Brenna here.
And I'm Gabby.
And this is the Mystery of Everything podcast.
And we're back. This hasn't happened in weeks, months even.
We're back, bitches. And we're not gonna, what's it called? What's that thing we do? Tangent. We're not gonna tangent.
We're going to stay on task. We have 2 episodes to record and it's late.
And it's late and we have to edit them. And we don't like editing. You can make Steve edit, Robs. We're just not going to.
I'm not talking to Steve, so I can't have him edit for me. Very sad.
Well, we're just not going to. We're not going to mess up, so we're not going to edit. We're not going to cut anything out, so we just have to do a little bloop bloop bloop. We're going to save and we're going to pray.
And save and pray.
Save and pray. That's what we're doing. Okay, this is part 1 of I'm assuming a 2-part series, but you know me. You never know. That one time, Patreoners, went on for weeks. That's not going to happen this time. It's going to be like just a short little bloop. And today we're going to talk about unsolved puzzles. Woo!
Yay!
Everyone get excited. And the crowd goes wild. There isn't applause, but applause.
Let's pretend it played.
No, like it will play whenever I go edit it back. There we go.
Okay.
It will play when I edit it back, but there was applause just then. Damn it, now I might have to go and cut that out depending on how it sounded. Anyways, so the beauty in these puzzles is that they could be solved at any point in time, which fills my cold heart with joy. We're going to cover 10 total. We're not going to cover 10 total today, but this is inspired by an article I read from treehugger.com called 10 of the World's Biggest Unsolved Mysteries by Brian Nelson, updated on October 3rd, 2024, which is very recently. Go, Brian. We have a lot to cover, and honestly, like 9 out of 10 of these I had never even heard of, which I guess says a lot about myself. I'm sure you listeners will probably be like, Brenna, you've never heard of the blah, 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 you fucking idiot. But yeah, I haven't heard of them. So let's go ahead and dive in. And the first one on the list lives rent-free in my head. It's the only one I've actually heard of. We're going to cover it first. Yeah, let's go. The Zodiac letters. Now, recently, we do think we know who the Zodiac Killer is. I don't know if you all have watched that documentary that just came out. But honestly, I'm as close to convinced as I possibly could be that the Zodiac Killer is, in fact, Arthur Lee Allen. Gab, you don't watch a lot of the shows.
No, I don't watch documentaries. I don't even watch TV. I just read. I'm halfway through Throne of Glass right now. Let me tell you,
I
I
need
finished
to read
ACOTAR in
it.
like a week, and I went straight to Throne of Glass. Now I'm like, oh
I
man,
need
so much is
to.
happening.
I stopped ACOTAR at Nesta's book.
Oh my god, I'm
Sorry,
obsessed with Nesta,
hiccups.
and that's my problem. But I love her so much.
Well, I need to. It's been so long since I read the ones prior to that I want to like go back and I want to reread before I get to Nesta's book now. And then, of course, go on to the rest of the series, like Throne of Glass and all that good shit.
Do it.
But then I started rereading Harry Potter because it's Christmas time and Harry Potter gives me Christmas time vibes before they get to like all of the characters you love dying. It's just like full of holiday
Yes.
cheer. So I don't know.
I'm
in a
gonna
little
trust
bit
you
of
on
a
that.
pickle. You haven't read Harry Potter?
I read to like a few books in. It's not my thing. I hate to break the news, but we're tangenting, and that's my fault.
It be your own co-host. Okay, Arthur Lee Allen. His middle name is pronounced Lay, but I'm pretty sure it's Lee. And this isn't proven, but if you guys are interested, go watch the docuseries that came out called "This Is the Zodiac Speaking." It is so good. And I do think it's him, but then there's also parts in that documentary where they're like, "Oh, we cracked the cipher and it says this, and this makes sense," and blah blah blah. But then it'll be like one letter off or something like that, or it's missing a letter or something, and it's like when you try to make a puzzle piece fit and you smush it in there and it kind of fits, but it doesn't fit perfectly. And then you try to play it off like it does. I don't know.
So
I
are
don't
these
know.
his letters that he wrote to people he
The
murdered?
police.
Okay.
No, he wrote them to the police because he was essentially like begging to get caught. He was toying with them, like playing with them, and yeah. There are 4 Zodiac ciphers that he would send in his letters, and I have a picture in front of me and in front of Gab of one of the ciphers, and this specific cipher took 51 years to solve, which is insane, 51 years. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to talk about the first cipher first, which is called Z408. And it was sent out on July 31st, 1969, and the code was cracked a week later. So that one didn't take long at all.
That was the same year and month my mom was born. That's crazy, dude.
That is a little weird. Your mom was born whenever the Zodiac Killer was killing. That's crazy. That is weird to think about. Like, it wasn't that long ago at all. January 31st, 1969. So a week after it was sent out, that one was cracked. And the cipher, I feel like I said cracked weird. Anyways, the cipher read, "I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more dangerous than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all." Interesting.
All right.
I mean, it's true.
We're at the top of we're at the top of life, so.
It bugs me that we're at the top of the food chain. I don't know why. Because, like, are we? I mean, we are.
We're predators. We're literally predators like that. Humans are, we're something. I wouldn't trust us.
But, like, I don't like us being at the top of the food chain. I don't know.
Well, maybe you're not at the top of the food chain. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm not doing the best right now, so you're not wrong. I'm probably not at the top of the food chain right now. We're probably not at the top of the food chain. We probably think we are, but it's aliens just like fucking with us. And
I hope it's aliens. I want a little alien boyfriend. I feel like he and I could be like freaky together. Was that an inside thought?
Have you been? Have you? I seen you took a shot before you ran.
Yeah, listen. A little shot really gets the juices flowing before a good run, you know?
I'm not judging. Chris used to get like super duper high before he would go to the gym. I don't know if I should tell people
next
that.
level.
No, well, he would take pre-workout and he would smoke. So like his body was like, I have to move. You know what I mean? Because pre-workout, you have to move or you'll feel like you got needles going through your skin and shit. But then his mind would be like super intense focused from where it was high. So it made his workouts like Like he was zoned in.
That sounds intense. Like
A lot of
the
people do it.
pre-workout
A lot of
fighting
people
the
do it.
high.
Yeah. You're just completely zoned in. You ain't paying attention to anything else. Okay, so anyways, humans' most dangerous animal of all. Now on to the second cipher, which is called Z340, is what it's known as. And it wasn't cracked until December of 2020, which is so recent. That's insane.
Wow. That was like post-COVID. You know they spent all that COVID trying to solve that shit.
Literally, like kudos to them because who has the time? Well, I mean, they have the time. It was a group of international code breakers. But anyways, that gives me hope that we'll eventually solve all the other ciphers, maybe. But the second cipher, like I said, solved by a group of international code breakers, and it reads as follows. I hope you are having lots of fun trying to catch me.
That was so basic. Like, what the heck?
51 years, guys. 51 years. We still don't know who the fuck the Zodiac Killer is. Like,
I'd be so embarrassed. I would literally make something else up. I would release that line with something else.
Diabolical or something. Like, the man, this was hard. This was a hard one.
At that point in time, no, I'm going to pretend I didn't even solve it. I'm just going to pretend like it's not a thing.
Just pass it on to someone else. It took 51 years. But there are also still two ciphers that are unsolved. Z13 and Z32. One time, it was actually right after I'd watched that docuseries. But my delusional self was like, I'm gonna fucking crack the code. I can do this. And I stared at those fuckers for so long trying to figure out. I've never deciphered shit in my life. Like, it's not like I do this for fun. I know nothing.
So I wish we were recording this for YouTube because I read that line before she said it. And I've been dying of laughter for like a minute straight.
But like, my delusional self was legit. Like, I'm gonna fucking be the one. Like, I can do this. It's not gonna be me. I figured it out the hard way. I got bored. After a few hours, and I was like, no. Yeah, not gonna be me, but one of the listeners, maybe, perhaps.
I'm rooting. I know a few who I think it could be. So you guys better get on it. If you're on Patreon, I know you could do it. So you better get to work.
Crack the code. It looks, I don't know. I was gonna say it looks crackable, but I'm looking at it and I don't. It's just a bunch of jumbles. I don't know shit. I don't know what would ever make me think I could be qualified to figure something like that
But
out.
If they crack two of them, why can't they crack the rest? Is it not following the same code the entire time?
No, it's not following the same key.
Huh.
Well, we'll get into that. So, where is I at?
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
The #1 selling product of its kind with over 20 years of research and innovation. Botox Cosmetic, onabotulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Okay, so while these ciphers have, sorry about that weird noise, guys, and I'm not going to cut it out because it's nighttime. So while these ciphers have not been officially cracked per se, there is someone who thinks that they have achieved it. A man named Zarawi. Gabby, how would one say that? Maybe
Zarawi?
Zarawi. Did I get it right?
I don't know. I've never seen this name before.
But you speak French, kind of. That looks like a we to me.
Sure, let's go with we. This is a French name?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Nope. No
We're
clue.
going with Zarawi. It's Ziraoui, and OUI means we. So that's what we're going with. He is a graduate of École Polytechnique and HEC Paris, which are France's top engineering and business schools. He tried using the old encryption keys, like Gab mentioned, from Z340 to solve the 2 unsolved ciphers, and he believes he was successful. He thinks that Z32 says Labor Day find 45.069 Nort, no H, just Nort, 58.719 West, which would make sense if you consider that the specific cipher was sent on June 26th, 1970, and was a threat to wipe out a school bus. Like in the actual letter itself, he said he was going to take out a whole school bus of children. But why wouldn't he put an H in there? I don't know. It's just little things that make me, and not just with this guy. So Zarawi followed the coordinates and ended up at a location close to a school near South Lake Tahoe. Authorities think that the Zodiac Killer sent a postcard in 1971 that had referenced South Lake Tahoe. So that could either be a big coincidence or he could actually be onto something. What do you think, Gabby?
Interesting. Honestly, if it's giving location next to a school, he might be onto something.
But I don't like that there's not an H in North.
People make typos.
I don't know. Do serial killers make typos with their... If you're taking the time to make out this huge cipher that you're going to have someone crack a code to, do you think you would typo?
Yeah, I would. And then I wouldn't want to go back and fix it because I just did the whole cipher and now I'm like, shit. And I'm like, they'll know what I mean. They'll know what I mean. I do that with tweets and like threads and my everything. And I'm like, you know what? They'll know what I mean.
I wonder if in his letters, not the ones that have ciphers in them, but just the ones that are Reggie. I wonder if he has any typos in those. That might affect my way of thinking. I don't know. So for the last cipher, Z13, it starts out with my name is blank. Zeruli again used the same encryption used with Z13. Oh, not with Z13. The last cipher is Z13. He used the same encryption used with, I want to say, Z340. One of the previous ones that had been solved. And it's spelled out Kayr, which is close, but not exact to one of the suspects' names, Lawrence K. His last name is Kaye. Zeruli sent all of his findings to the FBI. Not Zeruli. Zerui? Yeah. He sent all his findings to the FBI and San Francisco Police Department, but neither one have commented on it, saying the investigation's ongoing. We can't give out any information. And then when he uploaded his findings to Zodiac forums, the majority of the comments say they don't believe it for a second. Who knows? I don't think the Zodiac Killer is Lawrence K, though. I think it is the Allen guy. The Arthur Lee Allen. So, and I don't like that in Zeruli's encryptions, there's one letter off in both of them. That
Maybe it's the
bugs me.
same key, but one letter. I don't know. That's interesting.
It is interesting, but it bugs me. So I don't necessarily, I personally don't think the last 2 ciphers have been solved. And in that docuseries I watched, they think they solved one of the ciphers. And I also don't think that they solved one of the ciphers either. I still think that they are unsolved. Even though I do think they have the killer correct in that docuseries, I don't think the ciphers have been solved. So you guys go solve them. I tried. I gave it the old college try. Gabby's going to be the one to do it.
Oh no, I hate ciphers. I hate puzzles. I hate when I'm playing a video game and you get to a puzzle, I'm like, no, fuck this shit. And I quit immediately. It's just not for me.
I love
hate
puzzles, but I don't know. Not that kind of puzzle. Like if you look at that hand-drawn cipher, I don't know. It looks like a bunch of gibberish. So next up is the Voynich manuscript. Now we're getting into everything that I've absolutely never heard of. So I've never heard of this manuscript before. It was named after the man who acquired it in 1912, a Polish-American antiquarian bookseller by the name of Wilfred M. Voynich.
Is this the one with all the flowers?
Yes, and it's so pretty. Like just looking through images of it whenever I was writing this on Google and whatnot, I was like, this is just like a little fantasy land. It's beautiful, like the hues, the greens and the pretty oranges and the blues. It's very beautiful. Yeah, it was acquired in 1912 by a Polish American by the name of Wilfred M. Voynich. It is essentially a 238-page book that is extremely detailed, but it is written in a language that is completely unknown. The book is very illustrated and colorful, with around 38,000 words, none of which we can understand. It has weird diagrams and plants that don't match up to the species of plants that we see today. We have no idea who originally wrote the manuscript, but through use of carbon dating, we can assume the pages were created between 1404 and 1438. And like I said, if you look at the illustrations, if you just give it a Google, even if you don't know what what it says, I don't know. Like the picture I'm looking at right now looks like a cool little plant that I've never seen before, but the plant looks like he's got a face. The middle page guy, I don't know. It also looks like a book of fiction to me, kind of. Like what if they were making a, I don't know.
Storybook?
Yeah, like a storybook. I don't know. So around 10 or so years ago, there were a few folios of the manuscript that were scanned using multispectral imaging. A woman by the name of Lisa Fagan Davis, who is the executive director of the Medieval Academy of America. Side note, I did not know that there was a Medieval Academy of America. How freaking cool is that? But anyways, she's been analyzing those scans and recently posted some of her findings. And you can also download all the images if you would like from her blog that is called Manuscript Road Trip for those that are interested. The first finding of importance is the 3 columns of lettering that have been added to the opening folio. Gab, can you hear her?
A little, but it's fine. It's ambient.
Guys, I'm so sorry about, I don't know what Lou's deal is right now. I really have no idea. We're just going to let it happen because what else can I do, truly? Anyways, the first finding of importance is the 3 columns of lettering that have been added to the opening folio could have possibly been an earlier attempt at decoding the pages. So we think that they aren't original to the actual book, but they are someone's attempt at making a key and deciphering. She does believe that the document itself is a genuine medieval document, though. There is 15th century handwriting, like previously stated, along with strange illustrations like alien plants, naked women, strange objects, zodiac symbols, etc. And the book and all its magic is kept at Yale University's Beinecke Library of Rare Books and Manuscripts. It gives me vibes of the restricted section at Hogwarts, and I love it. I would love to go see it one day. The majority of theories do revolve around the manuscript being a compendium of herbal remedies and astrological readings. In 2017, there was a claim by a history researcher named Nicholas Gibbs who said that he cracked the code and he discovered it was a women's health manual. He said the text was actually an assortment of Latin abbreviations that described medicinal recipes. But he was met with experts saying that he couldn't possibly prove any of it. Previously mentioned, Fagin Davis is a very vocal critic of Gibbs, as well as a critic of Gerald Cheshire in 2019 when he claimed he had cracked the code as well. He stated that the writing was a calligraphic proto-Romance language that was put together by a Dominican nun as a reference source on behalf of Maria of Castile, Queen of Aragon. Take that how you will. Fagin Davis tweeted, "This is just more aspirational, circular, self-fulfilling nonsense." Oof. That's a tough blow. Cheshire then retracted his original press release 2 days after the initial announcement.
Oh man, Fagin is like a real buzzkill. Sorry, Fagin. I'm sure you're doing.
Sorry.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you're a really good academic.
I'm sure you're doing the damn thing, but you like self-fulfilling nonsense.
Be a little bit nicer with your critiques, and I'll be a little nicer with mine. Food for thought.
Damn. Oh, how the turntables. Okay. So this is the last one we're going to talk about in this episode before we continue it on to the next episode. And this is the Beale ciphers. Gabby, have you ever heard of these?
No.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. The holidays are here, and you know what that means. It's time to get your friends and family the gifts they deserve. Take the stress out of shopping with Amazon's great deals and low prices on a huge range of items from toys to tech and much more. Whoever you're gifting for, Amazon has great prices on everything you need this holiday season. Shop last-minute deals now.
Deck your home with Blinds.com. DIY or let us install. Free design consultation. Plus free samples and free shipping.
Head to Blinds.com now for up to 40% off select styles plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions may apply.
I like these, although I don't know if it's a hoax or not. This is one of the ones that, see, the other two, we know for sure they're real and they're not a hoax. Or at least like using carbon dating. We know the Zodiac Killer is not a hoax, and we know that the Voynich manuscripts through carbon dating is not a hoax. This one, we don't know. But it's cool either way. So, new to Brenna, but legend goes that somewhere underground in the hills of Bedford County, Virginia, there is a buried treasure that supposedly is worth $60 million. That treasure is named after Thomas J. Beale, the man who buried the treasure. And this treasure consists of gold, silver, and jewels, and has been buried for over 2 centuries. Why hasn't anyone dug it up? Well, we don't know where it's at, but alas, there is a clue. The Beale ciphers. The Beale ciphers are 3 pages with a coded message. I have a picture below for Gab to look at. And so to me, this literally just looks like a jumble of numbers. That's what it is. It's an assortment of numbers and then commas in between the numbers.
Yeah, this looks like the answers to someone's math homework, but they didn't actually write any of their work. They just wrote the numbers down.
Literally, it's just numbers and commas, number, comma, a shit ton of numbers and commas. In 1885, James B. Ward published a pamphlet called The Beale Papers. James says he acquired these papers from a person who wrote them anonymously, and the anonymous person acquired the Beale cipher from a hotel proprietor named Robert Morris, which confused me when I first read that. So we're going to travel back a smidge and I'm going to explain it to you all. In January of 1820, Thomas J. Beale checked into the Washington Hotel in Lynchburg, Virginia. This is where he met Mr. Robert Morris. He told Mr. Morris that he too was from Virginia. And Beale was with these two other guys at the time who seemed like nice, distinguished gentlemen to Mr. Morris. He didn't notice anything weird about them. And the two other guys left a few days later to head to Virginia, whereas Mr. Beale stayed behind for the entire winter. Now, Morris says he was a nice guy. He was a very good guest, quite the ladies' man. The ladies loved him. He was apparently a very good listener, although he didn't speak about himself much at all. He did mention that he had been to southwestern Virginia before, north of Roanoke, which is of some significance later on in our story. So jumping ahead to March 1820, Beale's friends return, the two guys, they come back, and they all stay there for a few days, and then all three of the men leave together. Morris didn't see Beale again until 2 years later, in the winter of 1822. He stayed at the hotel for the winter again, and then March comes, and Beale tells the innkeeper, like, hey, come to my room. I've got this secret. I'm going to show you something. And then
that's usually not what you're shown when someone's like, come to my room.
That's what I thought too. I was like, and then Beale whipped out his penis. No, I'm just kidding. He's like, I got a little something to show you. Check out this box. And then he opened the box and there's his penis. No.
See, that's what I thought would happen there.
It's a dick in a box. I'm sorry.
It's a canon event. So.
All right. That is not what happened, guys. I'm sorry if you all were like, oh, yay, we're getting spicy. We're not. So the innkeeper goes into his room, and then Beale shows him this locked iron box. Sorry if you just heard Lily hiss. It is like I wanted to say a cornucopia, but that's not right. A cornucopia is like that fruit of the loom woven thing, I think. Gabby, do you know what a cornucopia is?
Yeah, it was in Hunger Games.
Is it the fruit of the loom looking?
Yeah.
Girls, cut it out. Please stop.
It has like fruit in it and such.
And it used to be in Fruit of the Looms, but that's a whole nother thing because we're in a different universe. It's the one thing, the one guy effect. What am I thinking of? Pregnancy brain has me dumb as a box of rocks. Mandela. It's the Mandela effect. It was in Fruit of the Loom. But that's not where we're at. That's not what we're doing right now, guys. We're talking about the dick in the box. So, so Beale's like, I have this box and I'm gonna show you the box. Now what is in this box? Oh, it's a locked iron box, by the way. He gives the box to Morris and he says, you have to keep this until I get back. And it's super important that it remains very safe. But I'm not going to unlock it. I'm not going to give you a key. So Morris puts the box away, I guess no questions asked, and then forgets about it. Which if someone gave me a locked iron box, I might have a few more questions. But
I'd take it. I love a good box. Like,
no
I'd
questions
be like, mine
asked?
No questions asked. Like, I don't care what's in the box.
If
I mean,
I
I'll
ever
break
kill
into
someone, I was going to say, if I ever kill someone, I guess just give the gun to Gabby in a locked box and she would like, no questions asked.
But I'd open it though. I'm not like going to just stare at it. I'm opening it because I'm nosy. One thing about me, I will find out. I will fuck around and find out.
Well, Morris, for whatever reason, is not nosy. And he just puts the box away safely and forgot about it until May 9th, 1822. He gets a letter from Beale saying, hey, I'm in St. Louis. I don't know if he said that. The letter said he was in St. Louis. But he said the box contains these papers that, quote, the fortunes of many men depended on, end quote. Among these papers are 3 documents that are written in cipher. Beale had the key to these ciphers and would leave the key needed to analyze the ciphers with a man who was also in St. Louis at the time. If Beale were to never return, the the friend was supposed to mail the envelope to Lynchburg in 1832. So if Morris never hears from Beale again, he's supposed to open the box in 1832, in which the key will be sent to him, or like whatever is necessary to crack the code will be sent to him. So this is the last time Morris ever heard from Beale. Beale disappeared, gone, poof. Auf Wiedersehen. I think that means bye. The key to the cipher never arrived, and Morris didn't try to open the box until 1845, which that to me in itself is weird. He told you to open it in 1832, and you're just going to not even attempt to open it until 1845. That gives me some red flags.
I would have opened it the moment he walked out the door. So yeah, same.
But like, even like, let's say you were a strict rule follower or something. I don't know. 1832 comes and you're just like, I'll just let it chill for a little over 10 more years. I'll let it cook. Anyways, he didn't try to open the box until 1845. But then he did open the box, and in the box, aside from the ciphers mentioned, there was also another letter from Beale that was written January of 1822. It discusses the treasure and how he came into possession of it. So in 1817, there were 30 young men who were all like educated, nice, young, distinguished gentlemen that decided to head out from Virginia towards the west. They went to St. Louis to hunt bear and buffalo. And they'd hired these guides to help them on the hunts. And then the guides are like, hey, you all should organize as if you're in the military and appoint like a group leader. So they appointed Beale to be the group leader. And the group went from St. Louis to Santa Fe to stay for the winter. And a couple of the men went buffalo hunting a couple 100 miles north of where they were staying at. And they discovered this vein of gold that was running through the ground. So for the next 2 years, this group of men excavated all of this gold. And along with the gold, they found silver as well. And I guess jewels. Apparently they were in a dangerous area though. So to keep the treasure safe, they sent the gold, jewels, whatever, back with Beale to Virginia and told him to hide these in a cave near Bunford's Tavern in Beaufort, close to Roanoke. So when the innkeeper met Beale for the first time, Beale was actually burying half of the treasure during that stay. But he did not bury it in the cave like he was supposed to. The cave was being used for storage by farmers. So he buried the treasure somewhere else. We don't know where. But then he came back in January of 1822 and he buried the second half of the treasure. So now we fast forward again. Mr. Morris spent a lot of his life trying to decipher the 3 ciphers and crack the code. He was unsuccessful and passed the task on to some other man who remains anonymous in 1862. And then he died the next year. Not the anonymous man, but Mr. Morris. The new man who took on the task spent 23 years trying to crack the code, and he did unlock the code to one of the 3 ciphers. The key to that cipher was the Declaration of Independence.
Oh my God, it's Nicolas Cage.
We're going to steal
Not
the
so
Declaration
anonymous.
of Independence. That was one of my favorite movies. I had the biggest
so
crush on, what is
The
the
friend.
nerdy best friend? What is his name?
Oh my God,
It's-
same. I
It
forgot.
starts with a R. Riley or fuck, I don't
remember.
know. I had the biggest crush on him though.
Same.
I was like, he's my guy.
That's the first time we've ever had the same taste in a man. So that's just a lot to
That says something. If he ever listens to this, which one, I'll fangirl out. But 2, you should feel honored. You should feel honored, sir. Now I'm
Bren
gonna
and I
have to
have like
rewatch
the biggest
that.
difference in taste in men. So that's just insane that we met there.
And next up, Nicolas Cage. He can get it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, it was his friend that I had the crush on. But how did he figure out to use the Declaration of Independence? That is a big question here. I'm about to throw something at my dog. Not, guys, don't freak out. It's only this just little tiny Harry Potter thing. It didn't work. Moving on. The The letter J in Beale's middle name is how he figured it out. Knox! Thank you. Lay down. Be a good girl. Make good choices. The letter J in Beale's middle name is how he figured it out. So supposedly, his middle name is Jefferson. So because Thomas Jefferson is the primary author of the Declaration of Independence, one can assume that Beale's middle name was named after Thomas Jefferson, and the anonymous code cracker decided to try to use it to crack the code. And he did. That is just what he did. He cracked the second cipher, to be exact. And it read, I have deposited in the county of Bedford, about 4 miles from Beaufort's, in an excavation or vault 6 feet below the surface of the ground, the following articles, belonging jointly to the parties whose names are given in number 3. Herewith, end quote. And then it goes on to describe 2,921 pounds of gold, 5,100 pounds of silver, and 1.5 million in precious gemstones that were packed in iron pots and covered in stone. Today's value, that's around 60 million. But yeah, the 2 other ciphers, to my knowledge, still never solved. And no one's ever found this gold, which I feel, I don't know. Surely that county's not big. I don't know. I've never been there, but couldn't you guys just like get a shit ton of people with metal detectors or something? That's $60 million.
Brenna, stop talking. Let's just go do it ourselves. Why would you say that? You have to edit this out. And then we're going to get some metal detectors and we're going to go find out how big this town really is.
We're going to solve the Declaration of Independence. No, we're not, but we are going to crack the other ciphers. Only the Beale ciphers, though. We don't give a shit about the other ones.
No, just this one. Because this one has a payout.
60 mil.
Like the rest are like not helping us. And if it's not helping me, I'm not helping you.
The rest are cool. Like, it'd be nice for me to be like, I fucking solved the Zodiac Killer letters. But for one, I already tried. I know that I'm not going to be successful there. The manuscript is super cool, but there's no hope for me there either. But the Beale ciphers, I can dig it. Anyways, that's all I have for today. We are going to cover many more puzzly mysteries that are super cool. Gab can scroll ahead to see what there are, but you guys can't. So you just got to wait it out. You got to fuck around and find out in the next episode. And we're going to try to get ahead because Gab's going to travel again. So we're going to do the damn thing.
And then you have to take like maternity leave or else you're going to be yelling at the dog and the baby.
But I do have to take maternity leave, but I feel like I can... And maybe I'm overestimating myself. I feel like I can still do episodes with the babe. Because newborns kind of shut up a lot, maybe. I don't know, right?
Yeah, they shut up for like the first 2 months. And then they realize they have hands. And then it's game
I'm
over.
fucked.
Then, Joya did this thing around 3 months where she just screamed. I mean, literally like the most ear-piercing scream. I was like, girl, I can't even. It turned my brain off every time she did it. She wasn't sad. She wasn't happy. She was just like, ooh, voice.
It was digging her voice. Man, Joya was the cutest little babe ever, too. I can picture her little screaming.
They realize they're like, they exist and they just like run with it. Literally. Until they start to run. And then you're like, slow down, bro.
And we're going on about postpartum and
Akatar.
We're
48 minutes in, so we're gonna have to cut here so Bren can edit.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.